Hey, but welcome back. We're going straight into it. We're doing pumpkin stuff this time. Hopefully, this will be the last part of the backtracking.
Dun, dun, dun. Do I have to turn on Pumpkin Hill? Is it time? I'm turning on Pumpkin Hill. Where's Pumpkin Hill? Pumpkin Hill. Oh yes, I forgot. The Sonic the Hedgehog channel officially put a 10-hour mix on their channel.
Yes, they did. They also put an official remix on their channel.
Huh?
They also put an official remix on the song on their channel not that long ago.
Did it have the original rapper with new verses?
I don't think it has new verses. I don't remember if it has the original rap or not.
Dang. That's what they need to do. So, Medieval is a video game, isn't it?
I mean, that's what it calls itself.
Just because it calls itself? Is that how you, what's it called? Is that how you determine whether or not it's a game? It's me. Just go before you down Pumpkin Hill House. You know, I'm telling you, it's surprisingly fitting. Maybe it's just because I really like the song.
It's definitely because you really like the song.
Look. Do you really like the song?
I mean, I just like the Knuckles songs in general.
Exactly. So don't blame me.
It doesn't mean I want to listen to it for everything that has a slight Halloween aesthetic to it.
No. It's not for having a slight Halloween aesthetic if it involves pumpkins.
Exactly. Same thing.
No. If you're playing a game and you see a pumpkin on the ground, play Pumpkin Hill. Even if it's one pumpkin.
It's not a good idea.
Yes, it is. Then you turn it off when the pumpkin, what's it called, is off your screen. It's like the most... That'd be the most, like, annoying thing to do, is just have a tab of it open at all times, just turn it off, like, for a brief moment, because a pumpkin, or turn it on and off for a brief moment because one pumpkin appeared.
It could be made even worse. Why stop at video games? Imagine during Halloween season.
Ooh. Dude, I would just be like an 80s kid that's trying to be really hip and cool. I'd just get a really old boombox, put Pumpkin Hill on cassette, walk around with that over my shoulder. Yes, that is more work than anybody should ever do for anything. For anybody who is wondering. In the audience currently. That ow was not intentional, I swear.
This thing has gotten stuck twice. Okay, I'm dumb. That's why it got stuck. I can't tell up from down. Shut up.
What about left from right?
Nope.
Also, I almost had to bring out the fully functional game card. You know, I miss it. We haven't had a fully functional game card in quite some time.
You really haven't, which is surprising. I mean, I say that, but Tools of Destruction, so...
True, there was quite a
There was
bit
a lot of fully functioning in that one.
Especially the beginning. I remember the beginning had, like, a lot.
I had a lot in the live stream, too.
I wouldn't know on that one, I'm sorry. I slept a ton today, too. It reminded me of how I just, like, my sleep schedule was pretty poop around that time. I slept a ton today.
Well, yeah, you weren't even online till 5.
I mean, I wasn't asleep that long.
I mean, that's when you came online. Well, 5 my time, 4 yours.
Yeah, no, I was online before then.
I'm not monitoring Discord 24/7. So.
What do you mean? You're telling me you don't stalk me, and just to make sure whether or not I am up here online or don't.
I probably could set up a bot to do that if I really wanted to, but nah.
What, am I the only one who does this to you?
Look, it's bad enough that he won't let me out of the basement. He does this too.
What? I'm not stalking. Speaking of stalking, me and you wouldn't know this. You wouldn't know this because I think I've asked you before, and it involves bands and music. So
your odds are already very slim.
Me and a friend watched a movie that was released this year, directed by Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. It was terrible, but it was funny.
Huh.
You want to know what it was about?
Kind of do, actually.
Like, okay, the concept isn't the worst thing in the world, right? It was the execution. Also, John Travolta's the main actor. So that's good. So the synopsis, I don't remember the synopsis, but basically the idea of the story is an obsessed fan of a actor, stalks an actor, essentially. Let me see if I can find the synopsis. The synopsis is pretty good, actually. The synopsis is: a film fan destroys the celebrity's life and stalks his favorite action hero. So not the worst concept, right?
Okay.
The fan is John Travolta playing like a man-child, essentially. And yeah, he stalks this dude, and he calls people like doo-doo heads and stuff.
Amazing.
And it's supposed to be like really serious, I think. I don't know. John Travolta overacts it really well. It's really funny. And there's a lot of pointless scenes, and it cost $23 million to make, and it made only $5,000 in the box office.
Oh no! This sounds like it's a more expensive version of The Room.
I mean, okay, it's not that bad. It has, it's not that bad. It's also not that funny. Unfortunately, it's not like The Room funny. I wish it was, but it was still entertaining because there were really questionable moments, to say the least. But my name's Jim.
No, it's not. I don't know a Jim. Gyms don't exist. You can't prove they exist.
Join the cult today. I mean, we're not a cult, right?
Of course we're not. The registration's down below. Feel free to click.
Click subscribe.
Well, we don't have any robes yet. We're working on it. Subscriber merch? Yeah, sure, why not? It's close enough.
That's gonna be like our first subscriber merch. It's just gonna be
it's gonna be cult cloaks.
It's gonna be a cloak. I wonder how much a cloak costs. You know what? Let's see. What would be the best way to search for this?
A Halloween costume?
A cult cloak? Cloak Amazon. I'm just gonna do that. I still have Pumpkin Hill playing.
Well, the stage isn't over yet, so.
I mean, I'm not. The boss isn't over.
I haven't even started the boss.
Exactly. That's when I turned it off last time. So, you know what I'm doing. I'm going to Pumpkin Hill.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just really upset. Specifically because, yeah, that's why.
Well, okay then.
Hey, don't talk to me like that.
I'm trying to put in, what's it called? I'm trying to make...
Yo, get off this table.
Gosh, dang it! I'm trying to buy something. Mayo knows what I'm buying. I'm not mentioning it on video. But I'm being like bombarded, like my mind is being flooded by watching this, and then there's Pumpkin Hill in the background. And then it's just, I don't know if it's terrible or great.
Now I think it's time for Pumpkin Stage.
Yes.
Yeah, Pumpkin Serpent, which is actually the Pumpkin King. I think.
Yeah, we went over the confusion of this the last time.
Yep, still not sure.
Are you gonna let it get to yourself? Down in Pumpkin Hill? I mean, there's a you're technically walking up a tiny hill right there, so you know you could argue that, you can argue that this is the Pumpkin Hill. You know, whether that's politically correct or not is up for debate.
Do you really think that this game of all things is trying to be political in any way?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it does have demons in it, if that counts. It's more religious
Exactly.
than anything, but we don't need to watch this again.
Is that politically correct, Mayo?
Probably not.
Exactly. Let's talk about politics. It's 2020 already.
No thanks. I mean, it went over so well the last time.
It did. Wait, when was the last time? Technically speaking, would the last time be in Sly?
Wait, when did you mention anything in Sly?
It was near the way end of the time trials, I think. Because we were talking about the political video from.
We were talking about the Rayman Legends.
Oh, it was
the one you're thinking of is Rayman Legends.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and then I think jokingly I was like, all right, let's get political. And I think I slightly did for the joke.
You might have. It was slight enough that it went under my radar, though.
No, I think you
still think
mentioned it. It was just nothing big like the
Yeah,
first.
it was nothing big like the Rayman Legends one. Where
One
you
was
just overtook the entire video to talk about how certain you was that Bernie Sanders was going to be president in 2014. Yeah, that ain't wrong.
I like how you have to specify now. Bernie Sanders. Wouldn't it be 2016?
The video is 2014.
Was it?
It might have been early 2015.
It's been such a long time. Like, it's already 2020. Just crazy to think about. You know, I had this epiphany the other day. I was like, wow, I can actually, this is one of the first, no, this is the first time that I can really think about, you know how people are doing their decade reviews or whatever?
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about it, and I'm like, wow, this is actually crazy though, because
The first one where we could actually do that, right?
yeah, like I am old enough where I can actually have an opinion.
I mean, technically,
on how
I could have
the
still
game
done it for
is.
the 2000s too. I was still old enough for that, but
I couldn't because I was like 5, dude. Okay, I was 4, whatever. Technically, like 3.5 when it started. But yeah, no, like the thought of a decade going by, I mean, like I could actually like reflect on how this decade was to myself. That's kind of crazy to think about. It also makes me realize that I'm just getting older, which you know that's always great, right?
sure.
So, what is your decade review out of 10? Toast out of 10?
Yes. You know how I am with review scores.
I know. Solid 50 out of 40.
Of course.
Sounds like something I would do. It sounds like an actual rating scale, like a scaling system from me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a memer.
You say that as a joke, but we both know it's true.
Didn't I? Wasn't I trying to deny it for a little? No, I wasn't. I think I denied it for like a hot moment. Then I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not. I can't deny it. Luckily, after this boss, we have
You just have
like,
one more
what,
level
2
left.
levels. Is it 1? Oh, is it just the 1?
Yeah, it's just the village level, and then we'll be
I
caught
can't
up.
remember if we got if we did. The level
Unless you
after.
really want me to go through Sleeping Village, or not Sleep, but the Unit Earth again, which isn't even necessary. That was just a run-off to show off what it's like before you have the key.
They should have called that level Ant Agony.
Not everything has to be a reference to other games, especially when said game hadn't come out yet.
But, I mean, I wasn't thinking of it in a referencing sake. I was more thinking of the pun.
You say that, but it's very clearly a Twin Sandy reference.
I wasn't even thinking about it, I'll be honest. But now that you mention it, Twin Sanity remake when?
Alright, I think that's it for the boss. Maybe there's one more phase.
But the real question is he the Pumpkin King or the Pumpkin Serpent?
I don't know, and that was it. You can stop
That's what
listening
our
to Pumpkin
political.
Hill.
That's what our political debate should be.
Seriously? That's
Yes.
the kind of Yogaidr debate I want to watch.
Look, I've played Ace Attorney.
No, you haven't.
Attorney. You know, once I play it, that's what my excuse for everything is gonna be, right?
Oh, I know.
I'm literally gonna be like, I played Ace Attorney. Like, I played Ace Attorney.
Taught you how to yell really loud. Anything else is optional.
Objection! See, I played Ace Attorney.
You just watched the memes. And probably heard half the soundtrack without even realizing it.
Probably.
I mean, it is all over the internet, especially if you watch any of the really popular gaming podcasts. I think like they use it all the time.
I mean, I've heard it's really good. They also yell objection. And that's how you know that they're really good.
I mean, that's just the memes. Games don't do it quite as much.
Oh yeah, Medieval Cloak. Forgot I had this tab
Okay,
open.
where's the... Okay, there it is. I got scared for a second. The helmet wasn't showing up.
I don't want a medieval cloak is the thing though. That's too tacky. Has to be the,
No such thing!
It has to be. Yeah, here we go. Black cloak with hood.
And, we would just have crappy art on the back.
I get it. No. It wouldn't be crappy art. It would be our definitely not cult insignia.
Should be what, Crashy Puff?
Of course. They're like $25, give or
That's not
take.
too bad.
That's why we sell ours for 50.
Only 50.
Look.
You think too small.
Shh! You're not supposed to tell them, Mayo. How could you, Mayo? You know, they trusted us, Mayo.
I mean, they shouldn't. I've talked about selling out since day one.
Speaking of which, if you guys play CTR, don't forget to buy your free Wumpa coins for the low price of $5 a pop. That's the most efficient way to get your bang for your buck. It's so funny because if we got a sponsorship, we would be so easy. We'd be the easiest sponsorship.
Oh, we
deal
wouldn't
ever.
deny it for a second. We're like, Raid Shadow Legends. So that'll be the entire video. Like, why bother with anything else?
I don't understand why people don't come to us. Like, I say it like it might sound like a joke, but no.
No,
like,
we would do it.
If you want us, if there's any sponsors out there, we will
Like, let us
have
know.
no shame. We will you could have the most scummiest program of all.
For all we know, maybe someone's tried contacting our email that we haven't used since like 2012.
Oh my god. We should probably take a
check
look
that.
at it.
Wait, I'm gonna try using the chicken leg on this thing. Come on.
Yes, chicken
Yes,
tenders.
chicken!
I love chicken.
And it gives you 20
tenders.
health too. Colonel Fortescue's special... Wait, special what? Colonel Fortescue's special recipe.
Oh, you like Captain.
Need to mark this one off. There it is. Okay, there it is. Colonel Fortescue.
Make sure you actually mark it off.
I
this
did.
time.
That's what I was doing.
Look, he's made a mistake once.
You won't allow a second one.
Yeah, unless you give me your lunch money. Then I might consider it. I miss Pumpkin Hill already. Can we go back?
No.
But I'll let you out of the basement. It's a promise.
You don't know how to let me out of the basement.
Shh. If you pretend I do, then it's all good. Look, we live in a make-believe world. This world doesn't exist. Ever heard the simulation theory before?
I mean, I have. It's absolutely
That's a good-
hilarious.
That's a good way to start a conversation. Have you ever heard of the simulation theory before? Yeah, didn't you know we live in a video game?
I mean, knowing us, the game was probably jacked too.
Oh, gosh. No wonder when people die, they don't come back. They don't have checkpoints.
They have to spawn from the other half of the map.
Yeah. What if the checkpoint was like a million years in the past? You know, with Jack 2 logic, would you even be surprised?
Not in the slightest.
Exactly. So when in doubt, take the stick out. That's what Tack says. I don't know why that phrase came to my mind.
I don't either.
I'll be completely honest with you. It just kind of happened. I kind of miss Tack. Mostly because I'm proud that I finally 100% of that game after all this time. Because that was like something I always wanted to do, but I
I'm
never
sure we'll get to
could.
the second game at some point, but got a bit of a backlog first.
You know what's worse than having a recording backlog? Having a long recording backlog, having an actual long backlog. Guys, we're gonna be playing video games for the rest of our life.
We will. Just to get to our current backlog, not even anything else to get ahead.
At this current moment, we're gonna be going, like, we're gonna be playing video games for the entirety of our life. Which, I mean, that can actually be a pretty fun thing.
Could be worse.
Could be better.
Well, yeah.
What's something that's better to you than playing video games?
Being let out of the basement.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen, so let's think of it more realistically. Let's think of the realism, Mayo.
If I can't be let out of the basement, then what if the rest of the basement just happens to get conveniently destroyed?
Remember, it's kind of indestructible.
Like that's ever stopped before.
I mean, it might not, by technicality, stop you. Well, actually, by technicality, yes, it will stop you. Because how will you be able to do it?
I'll just jump on the corner of the wall until it lets me fly through. If video games have taught me anything.
That sounds like you. I'm surprised you haven't done that in this game yet.
I tried. Remember?
You're right.
It was in this level.
When in doubt. I mean, you could probably figure some things. I just want to read all the books again.
We're not reading the books again. It'll take
Come
too
on.
long. I'll start
Come
reading
on.
the books again once we're not on catch-up mode.
I miss the books.
What is Dan's head doing? It was just spin. Okay, there it goes.
I mean, Dan's head kind of does whatever it wants anyways. Are you surprised that it had a moment of just spinning around?
A little surprised, yes.
Don't be surprised, Mayo.
I just want you to know that I wasn't holding the analog stick for most of that entire episode of pushing that barrel. Yeah.
Was that drift, or was the game just doing it by itself? I'm confused.
Probably a bit of both.
Do you have drift on your controller?
Every controller has drift.
Mine doesn't.
Mine does. Every controller I've ever had has had drift.
I know a lot of people have been talking about drift on PS4 controllers. I've been in this lucky minority. Like, I'll 100% like admit it's like a lucky minority because I have not been affected by drift with PS4 controllers. Like, my friend had 2 PS4 controllers, both have drift. And I know the Switch controllers, so there was a huge thing about everybody getting drift on those. I haven't
had that yet. At least not on the Switch. Although, to be fair, a lot of that's because by far my most commonly used controller on the Switch is my Switch Pro. If I was using exclusively Joy-Cons, it would probably be different.
Yeah, that's what people are saying, has the drift.
Although I have also heard people say that the Pro controllers still have drift, it's just nowhere near as common, and okay, I'm still gonna get attacked. Nice.
Good job. Don't you just love video games?
No.
That's a lie. Take that back. Take it back. Take it back right now, Mayo.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yes, you do.
You're right, I do.
Yeah, I was about to say, what the heck? If there's any game that you'd want to play at this current moment, I have a feeling this game wouldn't really, like, maybe it wouldn't be the first game you'd think of, but I'm pretty sure it'd be one of the games. You're like, you know what, I gotta be down.
Okay, I skipped a step. Let's go up here. And we were just talking about that book room when I had gotten that rune and I somehow completely blanked out on actually grabbing it.
Yeah, that sounds like you. That sounded really mean, I'm sorry. The way I said it sounded really, like, messed up.
Now I got one.
Mayo Doctor is my best friend.
Send help.
Don't send help to him. That'll only...
Eh?
Did you disconnect?
No. You just got quiet for a second in the middle of a sentence.
It kicked you out of the call. You had to screen share. It disconnected you.
Oh, of course it did.
I was like, that was perfect timing given what I was saying.
I mean, it was. I was waiting for you to say something. I was dead silent the entire time.
I don't know if I'm
right,
terrified or excited.
Shield back.
I want to
Fine,
see
I'll
you run
screen
through the
share
village. Come on.
I know. Hold on. I'll get
Come
it.
on, Mayo. Because the castle's next.
I mean, that's not going to be this part.
Well, it's in the next part.
Next
so
part,
either
yes.
way. I want to see you in the castle.
Oh, not...
Swing your hammer. Hulk smash. Yes. Yes. Hulk smash. Thank you for just hitting nothing for me.
Seems like it would satisfy you a little bit.
You know, just a teeny tiny bit. Many thanks to you, Mayonnaise Doctor. It is I, Buzz Lightyear. Star Command. I need to still see Toy Story 4. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. Not sure if I really plan to, but...
I mean, I heard it's really good still, which is surprising because, you know, after 3, you would assume that it would get stale. But I guess not.
I was never really that big of a Toy Story fan, though. It's just part of it for me. I didn't grow up on the movies.
Yeah, but Toy Story 1 was the first full CG movie ever created.
I mean, first doesn't inherently mean best.
Yes, it does. Because I said so.
If anything, it just means it looks old and outdated.
Surprisingly, it kind of holds up. Though it does kind of have some creepier visuals than it should at the same time. It's like a mishmash.
Like, are you really gonna try to say it looks good? Like, do you remember what the kid looks like?
That's what I mean by some things look good and then there are things.
I don't even think the toys look that great in that movie, but...
At least they look better than PS1 FMVs.
I mean, most things look better than PS1 FMVs.
There's something magical about PS1 FMVs. Like, terrifying, yes, but also magical. This game, you know, Medieval's PS1 FMVs weren't that bad. Luckily. Or that, like, scary.
Considering the era, how bad they could have been,
Yes.
Medieval turned out okay.
Yeah. Well, I also think the art style helps with it a bit too, because when people are doing FMVs for like much more realistic stuff, like games rather, that's when things get really, really funky, to say the least. Yeah, get out of here, wall. Even my holy grail.
I just really like hitting walls with big hammers.
Why stop at walls?
I just like hitting everything with hammers!
Exactly.
And with that, we're caught up. All we gotta do is go call heroes again, and I'll probably go through Dan's script once or twice just to get my health back to full. Assuming this doesn't top it off. Well, I almost forgot. This is very important, everyone. Very, very important.
This is the most important part.
Of the entire game. Like, my console will soft lock if I don't do this every time.
Imagine if that actually happened.
It would be equal parts hilarious and terrible.
It just soft locks.
Look at you running around.
Got a longbow. I don't actually remember what the difference was between this and the crossbow, whereas this one.
Couldn't tell you. I guess it is called the longbow.
So, I mean, yeah, but the crossbow never really had an issue with range, so...
Yeah, but that's just called the crossbow, so that just makes it less cool.
But the crossbow can bounce off walls. I don't think this can. It probably does more damage or something.
Probably. Though I feel like a crossbow would do more damage, like when you think about the logistics.
Well, and script, then we end the part.
Can you do a swig?
No thanks.
Dang. I tried, guys. The mayonnaise doctor, unfortunately, doesn't want to... How about a jig?
Fine. Don't know if you can hear us actually doing something.
I like how you can just hear it. Like, you'd hear the frickin'... That's funny. Thank you, ma'am. I feel better about life now that I heard you do a jig. Now give me $1 million.
How many times do I have to tell you I don't have this money thing you keep talking about?
Twice. A minute.
I've told you too many times already.
You were like, wait a minute.
What's a minute?
60 seconds.
Seconds don't exist.
Alright, that's
Silly.
it. I'm gonna do it.
Thank y'all for watching. Next time we'll be starting up the game, actually playing it properly again in the Asylum grounds.
Who's ready to watch him lose?
I am.
I am too. See you all in 5 seconds. Goodbye.
All toasters toast toast.
Chicken nugget tenders, legs, boom hammer.